In today's video, Today we're going to be talking about how to declutter your home without getting overwhelmed. I want to tell you about the simple steps that you can take to manage the clutter in your home. We all have it. Things come into our home and we get busy. They pile up, and this leads to overwhelm and chaos. It can happen in the kitchen, in the bedroom, a home office, really anywhere. Decluttering is something that I'm really trying to focus on this year, as I have dealt with a lot of anxiety lately. And I'm realizing more and more that clutter does not help with anxiety issues. I want to share with you 5 tips that you can start doing today to tackle the clutter in your own home. The first one is mindset. This is a mental game, and I have struggled with this for so many years. I'm only just beginning the decluttering journey. We always tend to think, what if I need this? What if my kids or my husband need that? Or someday I'll need this and I'll be glad that I kept it. And yes, that sometimes does happen, but I'll be honest, it's only been a handful of times, and usually that thing is small and can be easily replaced. Clutter causes anxiety. This has been proven over and over, and as someone who deals with anxiety, I know firsthand how thinking about a cluttered space can make me feel. It's overwhelming and stressful. Recently, I finally said enough is enough, and I've taken these next steps to get rid of so much clutter in my own home. What it comes down to is changing your perspective. Decluttering doesn't mean going without. Let me repeat that. Decluttering does not mean going without. We tend to have this fear of getting rid of things. Maybe you bought it because it looked pretty or you needed it for one occasion, but is it still serving a purpose for you? Letting go of clutter is freeing. You'll have less anxiety, have a positive mindset when getting ready to declutter. That will really help you. Number 2, pick a strategy that works for you. What works for one person when decluttering won't work for everyone. If you're a stay-at-home mom like me, you may have 30 minutes every single day to work on the clutter. Or if you're a working mom, you may only have 1 or 2 hours on the weekends to keep up with your housework. So keep in mind what will work for you and your schedule. Can you devote 10 minutes a day to declutter the high traffic areas in your home? Do you want to get your kids involved? Teaching them these decluttering habits now will help them in the future. And it will also help you get more done in less time. Number 3, get rid of the easy things first. Clothes are something that's pretty easy to get rid of. Find what you haven't worn in the past 1, 2, or 3 years, or even longer. Does this shirt still fit you? Recently, I gave some of my clothes to my 10-year-old daughter because I was holding on to things, thinking that maybe one day they'll fit me and I'll finally lose the weight. But I finally realized that even if they do fit me one day, I probably won't love that style anymore. So it was time to get rid of those things. I also love to donate our old clothes or toys to Goodwill if they're in good condition. If you're decluttering a pantry, check for expired items and toss those. If you're working on a bathroom, ask yourself if you're really going to use that hand lotion that you got as a gift 2 years ago and haven't even opened yet. Chances are probably not. Immediately throw out junk mail as soon as you grab the mail from your mailbox. Getting rid of the easy things first will create a domino effect and will give you the confidence to get rid of more. Be asking yourself the whole time if you really need this particular item. Will having this item make you happy, and is it worth your time to take care of? Number 4, the flat surface rule. Did you know there was such a thing? It's something that I've been doing for a very long time, but I never knew there was an actual name or rule for it. For example, I've always hated clutter on my kitchen counters. Give me the few items that I'll actually use on my counters, and I'll pull out the rest when I use it. Example being, I don't keep my mixer on my kitchen counter because I don't use it that often. I'd rather have it hidden in the pantry and bring it out when I need it so that I don't have to stare at it day after day, something that I never really use. One space that I know we all have is that area where clutter goes to live. You know the one I'm talking about. It's usually a space by the door that you come in often, a counter that's there, or a high traffic area that you use. For me, it's this counter right here. This is close to my kitchen, it's next to my kitchen table, but my family and I pass by this area 100 times a day. So it's easy to drop items here. Mail, kids' toys, odds and ends that need to be taken care of, but I just don't have the time yet to deal with them. Socks, water bottles, you name it, it ends up here. And you know what? It drives me crazy. Maybe because this is an area open to the main living space of my home, so I'm always looking at it and thinking about how I need to take care of all the stuff that's on there. I have really been trying to keep this area more clutter-free. I have a tray for the little things that need to go upstairs, and I'll look in it multiple times throughout the day and take up those items when I'm headed up the stairs. My kids' toys always make their way to this counter, so I've really been trying to have them remember to clean it up often. Really focus on keeping that specific area clean. Your goal is to not let this space become cluttered ever. Work on creating a daily habit to make sure your most cluttered area is clear. Once this area becomes a habit, you can focus on doing the same thing in other areas of your home. Let me know in the comments below, what is one surface in your home that you wish was clutter-free? Our last tip for today is have designated spaces for everything in your home. Where do your bills go that you need to pay this month? Do you have a specific basket for kids' toys in your living room? Do you have a container in your pantry where all the open bags of chips go? I definitely have that container. When we have designated areas for all of the things in our home, it makes it more manageable to take care of them. Our brain has to think less about finding a spot for a specific item. If something comes into your home that you don't have a place for, have a drawer or shelf where it can go until you find a home for it. Make sure to add that drawer to your daily or weekly decluttering so it doesn't become chaotic. For example, if you're doing a house project, like I do all the time, keep all the items in an area like the basement or the garage until you're ready to start that project. So many times I've put those items on my dining table and they just sit there for a week staring at me and causing my anxiety to rise by the day. I also usually have a small pile of returns that either need to go back to the store or taken to UPS, and for a while now I've set them on my formal dining table and it has always bothered me. Recently, I decided to make a space for all of those returns in our mudroom area on a shelf. That way, they are easy to grab when I'm headed out the door. I hope these 5 tips were helpful to get you started on your decluttering journey. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I can't wait to see you back here soon.